How you doing, folks? And welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Joe True Love, here with your Aew Dynamite review for now. We're in February. Now we're kicking gears from the February 7th edition of Dynamite. Yep, we're on the road to Revolution. About a month away. Yeah, about a month away. Or less than a month away. And should be fun. We got some matches already lined up for the show. We got a heck of a main event lined up based on Wednesday. And, a heck of a women's match between Toni and Deonna Purrazzo. So, the two big things, though, on Dynamite, besides Revolution, which we'll get into first. So, Sting and Darby versus Big Bill and Ricky Starks was the main event. And Phoenix, which had some good energy, good crowd, good reception, definitely an improvement from the last few weeks. So, you knew the Young Bucks were going to be involved some way. And it looks like the right outcome escalated as Sting finally wins gold in AEW. What do you know? Sting and Darby Allin, the new tag team champions, AEW, as they dethroned Big Bill and Ricky Starks, who had a solid reign. Ricky Starks, it's obviously telling where he's going to go, sadly, when his contract's up. I say sadly because, I'm a fan of him on AEW. I think we all are. But we know if his loyalties lie with going to WWE to be with Jade Cargill, Cody Rhodes, etc., then all we can ask is he does well for WWE as well. Big Bill, he's also done some very good work himself. It's like he was... It's weird because he wasn't doing much before he became the heavy for Ricky Starks. And then when it came to the end of the CM Punk feud, and of course Punk got fired, that whole fiasco. But Big Bill has certainly improved the last number of months. It's like this Ricky Starks pairing really helped him. And he fed off it. And we can tell the name is not great. But coming with his promos and improving in ring work in the best shape of his career, it's certainly been great to see out of him for William Morrissey. Excuse me. And now, what's next for him? We're not sure. But they did have a solid reign. Darby and Sting saw a match in the main event. And then after, it was short-lived, great ending. As after the confetti popped and everything, and Singh and Darby raised the tag team titles. There were Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, who attacked them from behind with bats and busted open Darby and Singh. They were wearing white suits and had Darby and Singh's blood draped over those white suits, and it was a hell of a visual. And the match was already pretty much signed, sealed, and almost delivered when the Bucks interrupted Darby and Singh after the street fight against Powerhouse Hobbs and Takeshita. But now it just feels, more inevitable than you thought. And the added bonus of this being for tag team titles, I mean, I wasn't sure that they would. I don't think anyone was sure that it would be a title match. But considering where Darby and Singh have done or been and done, I'm not surprised that this is a title match. And, the Young Bucks living up in this heel mantra, it's certainly been very good for them. So we got that after them being up Sting's sons as well at ringside. Excuse me. But also Tony Khan's big announcement, as it was announced earlier today that AEW was going to run in the Tea Garden again on March 13th. And you get the sense, okay, Mercedes Varnado, a.k.a. Mercedes Mone, a.k.a. the former Sasha Banks, she being from that area, that okay, it's a little more of a design play that she's going to more than likely be there. And especially with the way Tony Khan was smiling and, just you could feel his energy through that. And, who knows? Maybe it's not just Mercedes. He said it was a night to remember in big business. So, I mean, we know Ospreay is on the way. I'm not sure if that pay-per-view, or that event, but maybe Okada too. I mean, Okada's mentioned how he's a free agent, and he finished up at the end of January with New Japan. So, I mean, perhaps, he said it was a night wrestling fans would remember forever. So, we'll see. But that is certainly, especially when he saw on the logo after, when it said Boston, as in BOSS. $signs TON. So, yeah. Look, it's obviously been on the radar the last few months of Mercedes heading to AEW. I mean, there were talks of her making a return to WWE, but those talks apparently fell out of favor. But Mercedes coming in is a debut certainly to keep a very keen eye on. We say that because, let's face the facts, the women's division has not been that great very much in some time. And they have a very good cast of women's wrestlers on the roster. I mean, Thunder Rosa, Jamie Hayter when she comes back, Britt Baker when she comes back, Chris Statlander, Joey Hart's done better. I mean, Athena, if she can get out of 8, or Ring of Honor, Toni Storm, Deonna Purrazzo, we get who are actually doing some good stuff in their storyline right now. I do, but do agree that, and Cheetah, Serena Deeb back. You get the point. The women's division is going to be more stacked with Mercedes arriving. The biggest question is obviously the booking. Mercedes has done a whirlwind of what she could do with WWE, but obviously, she was unhappy. And bringing her into AEW comes at cost and some pushback because the booking of the women's division. So, I mean, it's certainly going to be on AEW, Tony Khan, everyone backstage to get it right with the creative, with the ideas going forward to build around the division for her and, make it as good as it probably should be. Now, again, like I said, Toni Storm, Deonna Purrazzo, it's been fun, the storyline thus far. But on past tradition, it's not been very good. So we'll see how the tradition goes. And yeah, it's certainly going to be a unique piece to look at. So now let's go up tier. So now let's start with the review. Anyways, guys, thank you all for joining me. Appreciate it. Of course, if you're new, hit subscribe. And if you like these videos, do so, as well as hit the like button. But yeah. AEW. The show was very good. Gotta say, very good. Fun to see. Much better than it has been in recent weeks. Yeah, I would say besides the trios match, which still has had its moments. It was a very fun feel throughout the show. It was good to see. Certainly the crowd helped. So the show started off with Hangman Page and Swerve Strickland. Now, I did not get home. Excuse me. I did not get home till around the half-hour mark. So automatically, I could tell. I think the perception going in was that it was going to end likely in a draw. And then we get this triple threat match at Revolution. That was indeed what happened. But the finish, and I gotta say, the reactions throughout this match, they were fun. So, Hangman was vilified. He was vilified pretty much in this match, and he was working, especially towards the end, a more heelish style, which we have not seen in some time of Hangman. And Swerve, he's been getting more over. Yeah, moreover has been Swerve. Prince Nana is out there, and especially when Hangman hit Nana with a chair, that was when you could kind of tell of, okay, well, yeah. Hangman's acting suspicious, and rightfully so. I mean, Hangman, that's the thing. Swerve and Nana were the ones that broke into Hangman's house. But Swerve, just been getting more over, and Phoenix ate it up. Just ate it up. So, unique approach to start, because after their Texas Death Match at Full Gear, this was just a very thought out and piece together technical match, you could say. So, first they brawled, and then they were flushed over the barricade. Swerve then was dumped to the outside. A thing that was very focused on in this match was the ankle of Swerve. And it certainly played a powerful part in the end of this match, where Swerve could have won. So, Swerve ducked a moonsault by Hangman on the outside. And then Swerve followed up with a flatliner on the outside. He had almost a Pillsbury flop or a twisting tope over top on Hangman. Then back in the ring, Hangman got hit with a flatliner followed a suplex, and then a house call by Swerve for 2. There was some back and forth, and then it wound up on the top rope. Hangman went for a avalanche sunset flip powerbomb, but Swerve looked like he tried to get land on his feet, but Swerve kind of, it wasn't so fluid, and then Looked like he landed on his face. Seemed a bit stunned, but luckily he was okay. Yeah, unique spot there. Then, after some counters back and forth, roundhouse kick by Swerve. Hangman followed up a set powerbomb for a near fall. Swerve almost got hit with the buckshot lariat, but got the upper end and hit one of his own, which, again, the crowd eating up. Swerve hit a swerve stomp for a near fall. So there's that. So there was a thing back at their Texas Deathmatch at Revolution where it was like a pile driver on the barricade. And they almost called back to that in this match as they were fighting on the outside. Then they wound up on the barricade. And then Hangman hit a DT on the Swerve on the top of the barricade. So, not the cleanest spot, but definitely a brutal spot that was there. Swerve was back in the ring, got back on the offense. He went for a 450, but Hangman got the knees up and got almost a quick pinfall, but only got a near fall. Hangman kept going for the buckshot, but he was set over the top, he skinned the cat, and then caught with a rebound lariat, then on Swerve for a near fall. Finally, then, Swerve got hit with the buckshot lariat then, but wherewithal of Swerve, as at 2, he got his foot on the bottom rope. Nana made it clear, and Hangman was irate, so thinking it was funny business by Nana. So outside on the apron, Hangman hits a deadeye on the apron, and then he goes after Nana with a chair, hits him in the back, and yeah, you could tell the crowd was not happy about that. So, Swerve favoring his ankle after numerous encounters in the match. So, Swerve went for a dive and went for a JML driver, but Hangman countered and twisted the ankle of Swerve. So there was a table set up on the outside. One apparently fell down, so they had to get another. This spot, but anyway, so Swerve hit a deadeye of his own on the Hangman through the table. Back in the ring, Swerve hit a JML driver, but yeah, he was favoring his ankle. He couldn't follow up, and then 1, 2, ding, ding, ding. Justin Roberts says the time has expired, and this match is a draw. Yep, the crowd was not too keen. So, this was interesting afterwards. So, afterwards, Swerve was pissed, saying how he did not get this far just for it to end like this. So, Swerve then said to a tired Hangman that 5 more minutes. So Hangman was exhausted. He was laughing. And then he's laughing maniacally, saying, Swerve, in order to be the number one contender, you had to beat me, and you failed. And that for you will not be the world champion. For you, it is over. So Hangman left the ring, and then he looked confused as Tony Khan, or Tony Schiavone. Tony Schiavone's always the one that ends up making these announcements, give or take that. There's no GM authority figure on AEW. Could appreciate these reactions better, but nitpicky. So Tony Schiavone announced that Tony Khan has talked to him and said that now we have 2 number 1 contenders, saying that at Revolution it'll be a 3-way match between Hangman, Swerve, and Samoa Joe for the AEW World title. So then Swerve then was happy, he was laughing, and then Hangman looked distraught and pissed because he was like, Swerve did not beat me. So then you could tell the reactions of this whole match. If they were shooting for a double turn, and then just the graphic alone, you could tell this match is going to be bonkers, bananas, whatever you want to say. It's going to be fun. So you'll have to see. And Hangman still has the best stash in pro wrestling, you could say. Yeah. I think it's really working for his heel character in a weird way. Or his eventual heel character with the way it seems. And then we got Joe, who's kind of a tweener. Sometimes, he can be heel, he can be loved, he can be baby face. You get the gist. So afterwards, Samoa Joe tell he was unhappy with the decision. Backstage with excuse me. So Samoa Joe was not happy. He was asked for his reaction. Amidst what has happened with the decision for his world title. And then, he was sarcastically playing like, oh, he's excited. Filled with joy. But no, he was pissed. He was sour. Saying that the powers that be striving for mediocrity because neither of those guys won tonight and don't deserve to be in the ring with him. But they're doing whatever they can to take the belt off him, saying that he's not their world champion, but it's not their choice. And that at Revolution, he will walk out still AEW World Champion. I mean, Joe and his demeanor and everything. Just whatever you want to say, it's great. Great, great. I hate my mouse. Yeah, Samoa Joe's greatest champion. And I honestly don't know who is going to come out of Revolution world champion. But in my heart of hearts, I want to see I'm torn because I want Joe to win. Excuse me. But I can also see them putting tile on Swerve right now because of how over he is. But nonetheless, we'll see with Joe. He's great. Next, we go to the virtuosa, Deonna Purrazzo. Roles have switched as we've seen Toni Storm on commentary for matches for Deonna, and roles have changed as now Deonna's on commentary for a Toni Storm match. So Toni face off against Red Velvet on Wednesday. Decent match. Red Velvet. Now we know why she won on Collision to set up this match here, which was fine. Toni hit sky high for a near fall. Velvet, she hit a big kick. Excuse me. But in the end, Toni got the victory here. With an ankle lock. As Deonna calls herself the best technical wrestler in the world. Certainly the best technical women's wrestler in the world. And, she's had submissions in front of Toni Storm. Now Toni Storm likewise using her submission ability against Deonna. I have to say there was a moment in the middle of the ring, which, I mean, fellas, I hear ya. But there was a moment in the middle of the ring when Toni Storm did say in promos that she was going to, quote, sniff Deonna and other things, and which she did, and not pie-faced her, but kind of backed her away, shrugged her off, and Deonna did to Toni Storm, and pretty much that, as, yeah, we're getting ahead to title match less than 4 weeks, or less than a month away. Blackpool Combat Club versus CMLL, guys. Now, I'm sure there's many opinions. Now, this was a little show. This was the lowest segment on the show, but still didn't mind it. So, excuse me. So, obviously this whole CMLL deal has kind of popped out out of nowhere, and now it feels like the Blackpool Comic Club is the ones destined to face off against CML guys. I mean, Brian, he faced off against Senshihiro Sero on Saturday, which was a fun match. I will give it credit to that. And then last week, or the week before, faced off against Nagata. So, I mean, Brian, in his last year as a full-time wrestler, he's doing, I guess, what he wants to do. Obviously, when Ospreay fully transitions into being all elite, that is definitely a match that needs to be had. Blackpool Comic Club, it's kind of a weird situation. We can agree. And apparently, on Saturday, getting another match as Brian and Claudio versus two more CML folk. But this is fine. We did see some high-flying heroics. We did see some of the mat pace by Hensera, which obviously is a nice touch from the other guys. In the end, though, we did see a giant swing from Claudio. Pretty unanimous, but nonetheless, Blackpool Comic Club won here. And, yeah, it was fine. I mean, look, like I said, Brian's going to do what he wants to do in his last year as full-time. However, I mean, yes, nitpicking a little bit, but, Blackpool Comic Club need to be building up stars within AEW. I think there are so many, or I should say there are other feuds that they can certainly capitalize on. But hey, if it helps with this partnership, or so to speak, provide solid matches, and it's all right there. So, earlier in the show, they talked about Orange Cassidy defending his title, international title, Saturday against Ishii. Interesting bout as far as, off the eye test. Could be an interesting match, perhaps. But clearly the direction, Roddy versus Orange Cassidy, international title at Revolution. Roddy's going to win. So I guess you got to give Orange more title defenses before it drops to Roddy. But at the same time, I hate... This makes me a little worried after Revolution. Because Roddy's going to win the title. He has to, from Orange. Problem is, the international title, its booking has been odd. And when you add it to the... When you go back to the rankings already, you can tell there's the flaw in bunching up all the men's titles, singles titles, into one. ranking. The world title, the TNT title, international title, Continental crown. So that's going to be an issue. And when you culminate, or when you add it to the fact that the Undisputed Kingdom, in their momentum since World's End, has dropped quite a bit. Quite a bit. So yeah. So why to bring that up is because the Undisputed Kingdom attacked Chuck Taylor in the parking lot. And that was pretty much the extent of the Undisputed Kingdom on the show. When is Cole going to be healthy? When is Wardlow, going to face stiffer competition? And I think we can all say that the Kingdom, in order to be prominent in AEW, they need to be going after the AEW tag team titles. But Young Bucks are probably going to take the titles off Darby and Singh at Revolution. So there's that memoir. Chris Jericho versus Konosuke Takeshita. This match I really enjoyed. Jericho still at his age, provided Takeshita is great and, did most of the work. Can't fault Jericho for still doing what he's doing at his age, and it feels like, it's weird, but it feels like since the Mr. McMahon news and all the allegations and stuff coming out about WWE, it has blocked noise from Jericho, and obviously when those allegations and stuff span out, because they feel more comfortable to put Jericho back on TV. That's the way it feels, because at first they looked hesitant. That's why they put him on Dark, I feel, a couple times, but now he's on Dynamite 2 weeks in a row, having okay reaction, so solid. But yeah, solid match here, and the finish, something. So, playing on the outside, Takeshita got a slap in the face from Don Callis, telling him to wake up, basically, and Jericho blindside Takeshita. Sorry, but Takeshita got the advantage back. Threw Jericho in the barricade, hit a brainbuster on the outside, back in the ring. Hobbs was at ringside. He interfered. Jericho oblivious to the ref. Lariat followed by Takeshita. Sammy Guevara. It's always those things where Pro Wrestling 101. It's like there's going to be backup for your adversary, for the heel adversary, but comes out by himself. And, his backup ultimately makes a save. I mean, nitpicky, but yeah, that's sort of a noticeable thing. So, Semi had a chair, wiped out Hobbs in the back, but barely phased Hobbs. I mean, funny thing is you don't realize Hobbs has a huge back. That's the thing. So yeah, it did phase Hobbs, but Sammy phased around. He hit a springboard cutter off the steps, which sold Hobbs, but Hobbs was not completely out of it until Sammy hit a chair shot to Hobbs in the head, took him over the barricade, and then Sammy and Hobbs got their in there. So back in the ring, Jericho got the advantage back on Takeshita. He had his corner drop kick to the outside. There was a mask. I didn't see, but Jericho put this Omni mask on and hit a dive, which looked like it did not hit Takeshita fully. Kind of grazed him, but somebody claimed that he got some of it. And again, that's probably the mask, but yeah. So, back from break, Takeshita, beautiful Chaos Theory. I mean, those deadlift German suplexes are no joke. Hit Chaos Theory, German suplex by Takeshita. Off the ropes, Jericho counter with a Codebreaker for a near fall. Then Jericho went for a lion salt, but Takeshita caught him on the ropes and hit a blue thunderbomb for a near fall. Jericho won the advantage, looked like he was going for a Hurricanrana off the top rope. Takeshita countered, dropped Jericho on the top turnbuckle, and then hit a beautiful avalanche blue thunderbomb off the top. Taz mentioned how Jericho, he did a good job at kind of blocking the blow, or the impact, but they mentioned how his head, came close. Very taking a blow on the mat. So, Jericho walked into the walls, and of Jericho. So, with Hobbs taken care of by Sammy Guevara, that just left Don Callis at ringside. So, Callis in a snivelly way, and a behind the back move, which, for a heel is as expected. So, he used a chair as a diversion. He threw it in the ring. So Bryce Remsburg, of course, he got distracted, waiting for someone to take the chair, and Jericho, because his head was near the ropes. So, Don Callis, he hit Jericho in the head with a screwdriver, and then, boom. So, Takeshita then locks in a Walls of Jericho on his own. At first, it looks like Jericho's out, and then he powers up after the third arm off the ground. Jericho, or actually Takeshita, then he he turned it into a lion tamer of his own. High stack on Jericho's back, and then Jericho tapped out to his own hold. So, something there as Jericho taps out to the lion tamer. And yeah, big win for Takeshita. Right guy won, yeah. Takeshita is a guy in a weird spot as well. Because Sammy Guevara mentioned in promo weeks ago that Takeshita beat Kenny Omega twice, or pinned him twice. In that 6-man tag at Allin, and then in a great match at All Out. Then we get here, and Takeshita gets a big win over Jericho after Jericho just beat Kyle Fletcher in a hell of a match last week. So, something there. But as far as gold and the rankings, it sucks. Because you got Samoa Joe, who at best is the tweener as world champion. Orange Cassidy is a babyface, but he's likely going to lose that international title to Roddy, and you don't want to see Takeshita in a title match right off the bat just to lose this one. Christian Cage is a heel, probably going to drop the title to Adam Copeland eventually. Maybe at Revolution, I don't know. Call Crown, that would honestly right now that would feel devaluing for Takeshita. What it seems like Brian may take the crown from Eddie. It's weird what they're doing with the Cardinal crown right now, because it's going to be a yearly thing. And Eddie's defending it in matches. So does he have it until, I don't know, it's a weird scenario, but it was a fun match. Right guy won. Takeshita moving forward. Good win for the Don Callis family. Main events. As I mentioned, this is going to go one of two ways. And I'm glad it went this path. I think we all are. Especially with Sting's sons at ringside. His daughter, they said. So, Tornado tag team match. All over the place. What do you expect from a Sting and Darby match? But this was fun. Ricky Starks and Big Bill definitely brought it. Finding in the crowd to start. Trash can by Sting. He dove out of the bleacher. His retirement match is just under a month away. And the fact he's still doing this dive Sting in his 60s, I never ceases to amaze you. So, in the ring, there was a great spot as Darby geez, he took a whooping in this match. So Darby went for his usual suicida onto the outside on Big Bill, but Big Bill caught him into a brutal Big Boss Man slam, black hole slam on the outside. It was brutal. Good stuff by the big man. Singh then was dumped on the barricade by Big Bill. Bill was playing into the crowd. It was certainly good. And then he actually was slamming Darby's head down the mat like a basketball. That was something. So, Starks, as Singh was back in the ring, he hit a death drop, scorpion death drop of his own on Starks or on Singh for a near fall. Then Darby and Singh really took the advantage back. Really focused on Bill, taking him out, or trying to. They had numerous splashes in the corner, followed with a code red by Darby, and then a coffin drop to the outside on Big Bill. Starks and Sting were left in the ring. Sting walked in the Scorpion Deathlock. Now, I get it. His age, I get it. And, you saw it a few times when he was in TNA where he would lock on to the Deathlock, but he wouldn't. He had his back still in the air. Now it's still some hold, but it's not as painful as it could be. Now, again, I'm not a pro wrestler. It's just something you notice. And, Sting, I get it if he's not. But nonetheless, Starks was in the Scorpion, and he went for ropes, but no rope breaks apparently in this Texas Tornado match, or Tornado tag. So, they said Starks went out of the ropes enough for Sting to loosen his grip. So, we saw this a couple times. Big Bill was carrying Darby on his back. And so Bill was trying to get in the ring to, I guess, save Starks because he was on a bit of a bad way. But instead, as there was a table set up on the outside, Darby gouged the eyes of Big Bill, thus sending them both through a table on the outside. So that was some spot. So then it's pretty much down to two. Sting and Starks. So Starks was in the corner. Sting went for a Stinger Splash. But Starks pulled the padding off of the top turnbuckle, exposes Sting, and then which stuns Sting, and Starks looked like he was going for a spear, but was having second thoughts, because it's Sting. He's gonna have his retirement match in a couple weeks. The legend Sting. So, he's having second thoughts. Sting was firing up out of the corner. And then Starks went into it, went for the spear, caught Sting, 1-2, Sting kicked out. So Taz was playing on commentary. It's like, I'm not surprised with Ricky, hesitance there and all that. So Sarson was trying to fire up in the corner. And Sting got up. Sarks went for another spear. But Sting caught him. And then transitioned to a Scorpion Death Drop. And then 1, 2, 3. Sting and Darby get their first goal as a duo in AEW. Sting gets his first gold in AEW. I mean, look, Sting is going to go out the way he wants to go out. And I think with King of the Gray, it didn't need the tag team titles, but certainly an added element to this match. Darby and Sting defending the AEW World Tag Team titles at Revolution versus the Young Bucks, these more prickish-like Young Bucks. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. The Young Bucks attacked Sting and Darby after with bats. They're wearing white suits, as I mentioned. Busted both guys open. Were wearing the blood on their white suits. Just a great visual. They also beat up Sting's sons who were in the ring trying to help their father. It was some ending. That was good ending to Dynamite. And they threw the titles onto thrown bodies of Sting and Darby, taking away the moment. It's like, it was probably like half a minute or less than half a minute after the confetti went popping, and then you see Sting rejoice in the confetti, sing the AEW World Tag Team title, and all of a sudden, boom, you see the Bucks with bats. I mean, yeah, that was fun. That was fun, but yeah, Dynamite was solid nonetheless. It was a fun, solid show, and good to see. With big business coming next month, it's gonna be fun to watch. Liking Mercedes, maybe Okada, and then Ospreay. We'll see when he arrives, but AEW within the next month is on a unique radar. The news about WWE WrestleMania, it's a unique spring. It's going to be a unique spring with all that's going on in the wrestling community. But works for us, does it? Anyways, guys, that's the podcast and that's the episode for you guys. Thank you all again. You guys are great, 37 strong, and keep it going. Nonetheless, thank you guys all. Subscribe again if you're new and if you want to see more of these videos. Know where to click, box, and over here, if you guys like this video, leave a like, leave a thumbs up. Helps out the video, helps out me, helps improve the podcast and keeps it going. So, thank you guys again for another glorious AEW review. And we'll see you guys next time. Either Sunday or Monday for Collision. But I'll see you guys. Take care. Peace.